Okay, this tutorial is for people who use VMware Workstation. So students not using the Rave Lab. Okay, so this is just before you start the lab number 1, lab number 2. This is basically this tutorial introduces how to pre-configure your virtual machine setting. Because for this lab, especially for 2008, we need an internet access. Let's see. The first step is you have to turn off your window firewalls for the virtual machines like Windows 2008, Windows 7, or the XP, and your own your own OS. You can use 7, Windows XP, the Mac. So even for your own OS, please turn off your firewall. And then third thing is for the internet access, my recommendation is use net. Okay, so let me tell you what this means, net. So let's look at the Windows 2008, and this is my by the way, this is my VMware workstation. So we have Server 2008 and Windows 7. And for Windows 7, go to the virtual machine setting, right? And then go to network adapter. Set it as a network address translation, net, which is good. And then for the Windows 7, this is Windows 7, go to virtual machine setting, right? And then it also set it as net. Your network adapter is set as a net, configured as net. So click OK. And next step is for Windows 7, let's configure NIC card of a virtual machine. So this is to configure NIC of let's see, Win 7 or XP virtual machine network interface card. So this is Windows 7. So first I'll start with Windows 7. So this is Windows 7. Go to control panel and network and internet and network sharing center, and then click local area connections and property, choose TCP/IP v4 version 4, double click, and then yes, it's obtain an IP address automatically by DHCP, so this is good. And my recommendation is for the DNS for now, it's set as 8888. Basically this is IP address for Google's DNS server, public Google's DNS server. Likewise, 8844 is also Google's public DNS server IP address. By the way, this is for the Windows 7. Okay, so now just check if you can access the internet. So I'll say www.yahoo.com. Yes, I can access to the internet. Of course, your operating system. You have to configure your own operating system to your main operating system, not the virtual machine operating system. You have to configure your own operating system to be. You have to configure your own OS to access to the internet, right? That I assume that it's already done. And for the Windows 7, it's for the Windows 7. Oh, sorry, so for the 2008. My recommendation is, since we are going to configure DNS, we should use a static IP address. Okay, So for the 2008, go to Command and then Control Panel and Network and Sharing Center, and then Manage Network Connections, and Property goes to Properties. Okay, so right click and then Properties, and then click TCP/IP twice. I mean the double click TCP/IP, then use the following IP address. Okay, just click this option. So your IP address is first. So you have to take a look at the VMware workstation configurations. So go to Edit. So by the way, this is VMware workstation, and go to Edit, and then Virtual Edit Network Editor. When you do this, sometimes if you have a virus scanner, it will pops up the security warning message. So just click Ignore. Okay, especially when you have a antivirus scanner, they may block this window. In that case, just click and proceed anyway. Okay, but anyway, just take a look at the net setting. So for the net, click net setting. So your net setting is gateway IP address is 192.168.75.2, right? So the gateway IP address is, I'm going to write it down, 192.168.75.2. That's my gateway IP address. And my subnet is 192.168.75.0. And this, my subnet mask is a class C. And my network address is 192.168.75.0. This is class C. Okay, so I have this information. That's for the net setting. For the DHCP, so since we are not using DHCP, our static IP address should not be in the DHCP IP range. So let's click DHCP setting. For DHCP, the range is what? Oops. The range is 192.168.75.128 through 192.168.75.254. Actually, I'm looking at this information right now. So 128 to 254. So this is reserved for the DHCP. Yeah, let me just close the editor. So when I choose my static IP address for 2008, first I have to use the network address, which is 192.168.75. I cannot use a 2 because this is reserved for the gateway, and also I cannot use any IP address between this DHCP. So I'll just choose 10. So obviously 7510 is not in this range. Oops. Right? So I'm going to choose my static IP address as 192.168.75.10. And my subnet is 255. Good. It's class C. Default is 192.168.75. What is a 2 here? oops, 2. And so I'm going to save it and OK. Close it. So now let's check my IP address. So IP config. Now what? It's 75.10, right? Which is what I expect. And then to see if I can get the internet, get to an internet. Good. So I can access the internet. Just like I said, this is for example, this is my own operating system, which is Windows 7. You have to make sure that I can access the internet. Let's see, yahoo.com. Yes. So that's first. This is the first thing you have to check. And then check if you can still access to your website. And then once you're done, now you have to take a snapshot. So go to take a snapshot, and your name is web server, or you can say, you can choose any name, but let's say for me I can label it as web server setup complete. So complete the basic web server configuration. Now it's ready to install DNS. Or you can say DNS pre-configuration, and then you can say DNS ready to install DNS, and then just click take snapshot. Okay, for me I already did, so I'm not going to do it again, but for you, I highly recommend for you to take a snapshot. Okay, thank you. So let me just stop recording this. By the way, after you finish this part, now you should follow the rest of the video tutorial. Okay, meaning that, let's see, teaching, meaning that you have to let's see, yes, now you have to start with the part 2, installation 1, part 2 installation 2, and part 3 1 2, and the task. And you don't have to look at the part 1 pre-configuration rave lab. Okay, so thank you. Let me just stop my recording.